camper built in 2009. We do a lot of hiking and stuff like that, so we wanted to have something to travel in because we follow the Appalachian Trail, and so we wanted to be able to stay on the trailhead, so we decided to build this camper. So this is a Ford Ranger truck that we purchased to build it on. And the roofing right here was originally a rigid plastic roofing, but the problem was that the water would go up underneath the ridges and get onto the wood, and the wood rotted. And eventually, this whole piece just rotted completely off, and I had to replace it. Now we replaced it with a regular shingle tile, like shingle tile with tarp people underneath it. And over here we have our inputs and outputs. So right here we have our input for water, for filling our water. When we're at a campground or something like that, or we're at home and we want to fill it. Right here we have an output. So we just plug this in right here. We just put a bucket underneath here so the water goes into the bucket. And we just dump that out into the that's our output for the sink. Not for the toilet, this is the output for the sink. This only goes for the sink section here. And we have the windows here, which is made out of a regular screen, and it has a plexiglass on the inside for the window, which slides open and close. The wood is just made out of regular plywood board, thin, about 1/4 of an inch. And inside the wood frame is made out of 1x2s, the lightest materials that we could find to build this, so it would be lightweight. We didn't want it heavy. You can see one of the 1x2s right here, which supports the roofing section underneath the roof of the camper right here. We come back over here. As you can see, we hike the Appalachian Trail, so that's what the camper was made for hiking the Appalachian Trail. That was the original thought behind this. And here is the inside that Lori is going to go on and show you the inside.
Okay, so this is the inside of the camper. And we have 2 bunk beds. The top bunk bed slides down when we're sleeping on it, down to this board here when it goes up. So when it's up, we can sit here. So when it's up, you can sit comfortably on the bed and you can eat here. This is the sink, which underneath the sink has a regular water jug that gets filled, and then you can pump the faucet and get water this way. These are all the drawers which hold the silverware, and silverware is in one, and this is just some miscellaneous stuff in this one, and I keep the dish towels on the bottom one, and some citronella candles. And up here we have cabinets, which this one is cosmetics, and this one is the pots and pans. This two here is the food cabinets, which has these swing locks on it in case when you're driving so the cabinet doesn't pop open, which has happened before. That's a screen door, and then it also has another door that closes. A screen door for bugs, which we found out we do need a no-see-um screen, because if you're in Maine, the bugs are coming right through the screen. But it's fine in Connecticut. That's our AT patches of all the trails, states we hiked on the AT. But this one holds clothes inside this cabinet, or food. It has a light. Has a light on. It comes on the side here that runs off the truck's battery. And it has a couple shelves for clothes. That's a bath pail we use to heat up bath water. Or he does have a water heater that hooks to the outside. This is the bed. Underneath here is another cabinet that I put shoes in. The mattress lifts up, and inside here this lifts up, can hold shoes. That's a butane stove for cooking. And that's a heater, and there's a fan in here. And then this part of the bed also lifts up and has a bathtub under here. Which that's the bathtub. Has a little faucet and a drain, and you can fit inside there, kind of, for a little bath. And it has some pillows around the side here, so when we're sitting here in the evening, if we want to, sometimes we watch a DVD, which we set a little player up over here. Or if we're cooking, we put the stove over here. There's another little shelf over here. And I don't think he showed you the bath intake, but we use only biodegradable soaps, and you can also put a bucket underneath it. Oh, and this is the toilet. But the toilet is for pee only, not for poop. So you can pee in here, and it goes out this little tube, and we rinse it with water, and then you can also put a bucket underneath there, and then the toilet paper goes in the garbage in here with the garbage. And there's another compartment here. Sometimes we put a bottle of wine in there. Depends where we're going. But he's going to show you the bath intake.
So over here is the intake for the bath. This is the in right here. So what happens is the water heater gets hooked up, tube comes out, goes into the hot water heater here, and this down here is the drain. So normally what we would do with this is we have the hot water here, and the drain would go into the hot water heater. We fill the tank up with water first, drain it, it go into the hot water heater, it would feed back in, come in here, and it would go out through the faucet. So that would be our bathtub section there.
And it's pretty comfortable in here. The beds are real comfortable. Last night we camped. We are kind of near a pond, so there was a lot of crickets last night. It was very peaceful. Sometimes we use it just for a little weekend getaway and some hiking. Sometimes we go to a campground. Right now we're just in the woods. But today we have to go home. But anyways, that is our camper, and we're going to show you some pictures of the camper being built and some older videos of the camper before the cabinets were in it. And I think we have some pictures of the old roofing, which the new roofing, this overhang was new, because if it's raining, then the tailgate gets wet, and if you have shoes out here or anything, then everything's soaked in the morning. And it also has a little bar for a wet towel. We have a weather thing inside of it that tells you the weather for the next day, and it's pretty accurate, usually. And we used to have an old roofing on it that was a plastic roofing that had ridges in it, but the water would go into the ridges, and also when you were driving down the road it was causing a lot of sway. So this is rubber roofing. This is working great. Roof's been totally done since we owned it. We built it in 2009, and right now it's 2016, so other than changing the roof, it's been still holding up.
Welcome to our truck camper. Let's look inside. Here we have our sink. Underneath the sink we have a removable propane stove and a water bottle which hooks up to the faucet on the top.
The faucet is a handle pump system, so you simply pump the water out into this basin, which is removable. The basin can then be dumped outside. The overhead storage can contain many items, including items of personal use. Down here, we have a pee bucket toilet. The bucket can be emptied outside when one is finished. Down here, we have open storage areas that can contain more items that we would need, such as clothing. Plenty of room here for seating. The seat will fold over into a bed, so we have 2 beds to sleep on. Up here, we have more storage areas. Here we have a 5-drawer dresser. Plenty of space for everything we need. A folding table folds down so we can eat our lunch and our dinner, serving as our table. A nice little camper to stay inside while we're hiking the Appalachian Trail. Welcome to our camper.
Well, it's our first night in our camper. It wasn't an ideal parking spot because somebody lives right across the street from the Appalachian Trail parking here and was already like looked over at us sitting here camping. But anyways, it's nice in here. We got the heater going, it's warm. Cooking our first meal. It's nice to be able to come into somewhere warm and we don't have to drive away from the trail to look for a place to stay, which is nice.
Well, here we are. We're in Connecticut. Well, maybe New York. But somewhere between Connecticut and New York, where we left off in October. So we're back on the Appalachian Trail. And this is our camper now, as you can see. It's completed. So it's now equipped with 2 bunk beds. And it has cabinets for all our storage compartments. It has a mirror for our vanity thing. It has our clock, our sink down here. We have our hooked up stove, so it's already hooked up to the line that goes down below. We have the porta potty pee bucket, which caused us quite a disaster this day when we were traveling, as Lori sat on the thing and knocked the little plastic thing down to the bottom of the bowl, which tipped upside down and poured pee all over the bottom of the toilet, which was quite a little disaster. But we'll have to fix that again sometime with some other plan. So you can come on inside. We have our sliding windows over here, which slide very nice and easy now, as you can see. Both windows slide very nice. Screen, so it keeps the bugs out. And we have our curtain for nighttime. And we have our light up here. See, we have our little light right here for nighttime, so there's plenty of light inside here. And then up here we have our little shelf up here for Lori's little sound machine, so she can sleep at night. And we have our overhead storage compartment here where we can put more storage stuff inside. So that's our camper.